What's up, everyone? This is Nate, and I'm back with another Out of the Theater review, my second of this weekend. And this time, I actually went to go see the First Omen. So I checked this movie out early on a Friday, and I'm going to give you my thoughts. So before I do, if you would, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit the bell icon. That way you get notified every time new videos drop. Also, if you could just give me a thumbs up down below, helps the video out. Takes 1 second, just click it and then leave me a comment. Is this a movie you're looking forward to? Did you see it? Did you hate it? Did you love it? I want to know. All right, First Omen. So let me just get this out the way now. I think the original Omen is a classic movie, classic horror from the 70s. Would I say it's one of my favorite horror movies? No, I would not. But is it a great horror movie? Yes, I would definitely say that. I have seen the sequels. I thought the Omen 2 was pretty good. I did not really care for 3. 4 is horrible. And the remake was so-so. So this is like a prequel to the original. And it's not really a remake of the original. It's a prequel, but it does some things different. So it leads you to think that it's going to be a prequel that maybe leads to something else. So this is spoiler free. So I'm going to try to do this as best as I can without spoilers. But as far as the positives, this movie, one thing I've always said I love studio horror when it's done right. So I respect all the low budget horror, the indie studios, all that. It's great. But I love when one of the big studios puts money into a horror movie and it turns out well. And in this regard, this is a 20th century studio, so Fox. But it looks incredible. This movie's beautiful. It's extremely well shot. Love it. You know, a movie that's similar that just recently came out called Immaculate, and this, you could tell the difference in the budgets of these movies. Like that movie, it was well shot, but small scale. This is just much bigger, better locations. I mean, it looks fantastic. I really love the way it was shot. There's a lot of moments in here where I was like, this is absolutely stunning as far as the cinematography and things like that. So I thought it was very well shot. I think the lead performance, I think her name is Nell Tiger, I don't remember the name. The main girl, I thought she was fantastic. I really think her performance was great. She got to go to some really weird places, and she definitely does. And she's committed to it, and I think she really pulled it off. I thought she was very, very, very good in this movie. And the supporting cast is great. I mean, you have Charles Dance in here. You have Bill Nighy in here. You have the dad from The Witch. I forget his name. He's in there. So the supporting cast is also solid, but she really carries the film, and I thought she did a good job. Also, it's very gross. This movie is very R-rated. I love a good R-rated horror, and this movie's got some really gnarly scenes in it. Pretty gross. It was pretty gross. There's a lot of gross parts. So I was like, yes, I'm for that as well. I liked the movie. I thought it was good. As far as prequels, I think this is on the higher end of what they could have done. You know, horror remakes are so hit and miss, legacy sequels, and doing all this kind of stuff. I think this was a good approach for this franchise to sort of retell the origin, but in a different way than it's been before. And I think they mostly did well. There's a few things I didn't love I'll get to in cons, but I think they mostly did well. I was intrigued the entire time. The mystery unfolding, I was into it. I was engaged. I thought the movie was engaging. A little long. So I guess we'll just go right into the cons. The movie's a little long. It definitely could have been a little bit short, about 2 hours. While I was intrigued, there was still some stuff that was like a little, felt like it could have been trimmed down. On top of that, as far as the mystery, like one thing about these horror movies that I enjoy is when it's like stuff is unfolding and there's like a mystery to it, or you're solving it with the characters. The first movie does that very well. This movie, there's a few things that I guessed pretty early on. And again, I'm not the type to really like try to guess movies or guess plots before they happen. But in this one, there was a few times where it's like, oh, I think this is this. And then it turned out to be. So I don't always love that. I think that the storytelling could have been done a little bit better so that I didn't just guess certain things. But it is what it is. What can you do? So in a minor, a little bit of predictability to it, I will say that. Also, jump scares. Now, I think there was one that's really well set up early in the film. really, really good sort of set piece for a jump scare. The rest of them are these random, like always, loud noise. You're just going and then someone comes up behind and goes, ugh, for some reason, like no one does that in real life. So, but they keep doing it in this movie. So reliant on jump scares rather than suspenseful set pieces. But other than that, I thought it was decent. One thing I will say, the ending, there's two endings pretty much. Like the movie ends and it's the prequel ending where it's like, okay, that's where the original or the old movie goes. And then there's like an extra little bit, and that extra little bit leads on to some interesting things. The ending before it kind of makes me think I don't really know what else they can do. So I'm a little confused on that. Overall, though, I thought the movie was good. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Another 7 out of 10 for this weekend. I thought the movie was solid. Definitely worth watching. So that's my take on the First Omen. And I will be back next week with another review for Civil War. So keep an eye out for that. Until then, take it easy.